god, it's happening, it's happening. But I need to manage my expectations. I need to lower my expectations. What am I talking about, you may be asking? Well, I'm talking about season 5 of Stranger Things, which is just around the corner. I have been looking forward to this season for literally 3.5 years, and I couldn't be more excited. However, I am also cautious because I have been burned before. I have had expectations that were not met by season finales. I mean, the most recent example being Squid Game season 3. However, I do have hope here, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I am feeling hopeful. Why am I feeling hopeful but at the same time cautious? Well, that is due to something that is called subtext versus text. If you have ever been in a fandom, you have probably heard about this because they are very common concepts. The text is what you see on screen, either through dialogue or through actions. It doesn't have to be something that you are told, although sometimes it is, but it is something that you are shown. For example, in the case of Stranger Things, we are shown that Joyce and Hopper are now canon through the text because they kissed. At the same time, we are shown, even though not so explicitly, that Will is gay, again, through the text. However, the subtext is something slightly different. It's something that is not so explicit, not so clear. It's something that requires a little more analysis on the part of the audience. For example, if we go back to Will being gay, we can say that the mention of a rainbow ship back in season 2 in connection to Will was kind of foreshadowing that he was queer. We could say that it was part of the subtext of the show. Now, there are many things that concern me about the outcome of season 5, but the truth is one of the things that worries me the most is what is going to happen between Mike and Will. And that is because, again, Will has been confirmed to be gay and in love with Mike. Very clearly so. But Mike is a bit more confusing. He's part of one of the key canon relationships of the show, and so far you would assume that he is going to reject Will. However, both elements of the text and of the subtext point towards a different outcome. If we look at the text, we can say that he was encouraged to become his true self again, thanks to Will's confession and painting. If we look at the subtext, there are several references to Mike being blue and Will being yellow, in reference to when blue and yellow meet in the West, etc, etc. Now, does this mean that we have the endgame secure? Not at all, because the subtext is something that hasn't been confirmed yet. We need to take into account that when we analyze a filmmaker's intentions, we don't actually know what they're trying to do. The thing is that sometimes, especially in cases like this where there is such a long break between seasons, the fandom makes up its own theories. So as we head into Stranger Things season 5, I remain cautious yet hopeful. And honestly, I cannot wait to see what happens.